Hello, welcome back to Breakfast Central. It's time for us to look at the newspaper front pages, and join us today for newspaper analysis is a familiar face. He hasn't been here in quite some time.
In a long while.
We're happy to welcome him back, Professor Simon Nnah, our newspaper analyst for today. Thank you so much, Prof. It's good to see you.
Thank
Looking
you for having
very
me.
sharp,
Thank
as
you for
always.
having me.
Good to have you, sir. Welcome back.
Pleasure.
Welcome back. Good to see you. So,
Okay.
I mean, yesterday was a very eventful day, and I'm sure all the newspapers have quite the same headline. Please don't also forget to call in and share your thoughts with us. We like to keep things interactive on this segment of the show. So let's start off with what paper are we starting?
Let's go with the Vanguard. I think the Vanguard is loaded.
Let's start with the Vanguard newspaper. Yes, the Vanguard newspaper, the headline there says, Nnamdi Kanu, Abuja grounded as security men tear gas protesters. NLC gives 4 weeks to resolve education sector crisis. It's almost like a command, resolve this crisis in 4 weeks. We also have don't use coup plot to silence opposition. ADC warns federal government. And we have there, we're shielding no ally. EFCC recovered 500 billion naira in 2 years, says President Tinubu. Emami faults usage of Warri Kingdom by non-Insecurity monarchs. We also have Nigeria's net domestic credit drops 12.8% to 98.97 trillion naira. I guess those are the major headlines we have. Unite to defeat the evil APC has become. Unite to defeat the evil the APC has become. Olawekpo Hashim tells Nigerians. Prof, let's start with the protest yesterday. What do you make of the protest in Abuja and other parts of the country?
Well, I think the president and the people that are advising him should listen to the voice of reason. Telling us, I read the ex-handle of Bayo Onanuga, and he was saying they are taking extrajudicial means. He was talking of the matter being in court.
He also referred to Shore as an anarchist.
Yeah, an anarchist. And he has forgotten, let me remind him, that he was publishing the broom outside this country during the time of Abacha. Having said that, let me equally remind the government that this man has been released by the court of first instance, the appellate court. He is kidnapped in Kenya. The Kenyan government has equally apologized because the offense for which they even kidnapped him in Kenya is not an offense in Kenya. They should equally know that I'm not a lawyer, but I've listened to grounded senior advocates that said that after the appeal court gave him that release and said he has no case to answer, even the Supreme Court cannot retry that case, but they're still retrying him. So what do they want? That's what some of us want to know. What do they actually want? The guy is saying he's sick, and the NMA have joined the Ferrero, saying that how can you test a man and the man does not know that he's being tested? Is it possible? All of us on this table now, can anybody, any doctor run a test on us without our knowing? I don't understand. I don't understand this country anymore. So please, let them listen to the voice of reason. This issue of subjudice is this and that. Which subjudice? Have they been obeying court laws? They have not. The man has been released. Let him go. You rearrested him for what? I don't understand. So if they can take a political way to resolve this matter, and let's forget this forth and back because it's leading us nowhere. They should imagine how much the country lost yesterday by shutting down the capital city of this country. It was completely shut down. People could not go to work. I watched this thing yesterday when they said at the secretariat that they were throwing tear gas and the people were throwing tear gas back to them. You see, so what kind of country is this? I listened to the police PRO. You know what he said? He said they were arrested because they attempted to. Let him listen to himself. They have not gone there, they attempted to. That was his comment. Maybe we should begin to look at the meaning of attempt. Or are they going to change it like they change and? That and is no longer a conjunction. I don't understand this country any longer. Honestly, I don't. I don't.
Okay, does it make for an excuse that there was a court order that, restrained them from protesting in certain parts of the Federal Capital Territory? So they were allowed to protest, but they said, don't go to Eagle Square, don't go to Aso Villa, like certain places really in Abuja. Does that count for something?
Did they go there? They didn't go there. Look, listen to the police PDRO now. He said they attempted to. He didn't say they went there. He said they were arrested. Listen to that speech again. He said they were arrested because they attempted to.
Well, because they had said that they would go regardless. Because he had said that they had
what Shora, listen to Shora, he said the protests would go on regardless. He didn't say.
But even in places that were not in the court order, places like
yes, now they went there to harass them.
For example,
what are we saying?
They were tear gassed in those places.
Okay,
and the PPRO was saying that that's the minimum for the crew. That's a lie from a pit of hell. Right. We watch other countries use water to disperse these people, not tear gas.
That's just another part to explore. To mention to our viewers that we're streaming live on YouTube. If you'd like to make a comment about this, please drop your comments via YouTube chat box. Let's take another paper. We'll still come back to talk more about the protest. Let's go to the Punch newspaper. On the front page of the Punch newspaper, the hashtag FreeNnamdiKanu is the big story. Protest waves hits Abuja, paralyzes southeast states. Abuja protesters tear gassed, Villa fortified, federal workers barred, southeast locked down. And then you can see at the bottom of the paper, National Assembly mourns army commander and soldiers killed by Borno terrorists. Really, really sad story there. We can also see arraignment of Obi of Lagos and others stalled. Interesting. Obi of Lagos.
Yeah, you heard that story, right?
That
happened like 3 months ago.
Yeah. That's something to
a very funny story where they wanted to install an Obi of Lagos.
Yes, just like going to say. I think we need to know how. Anyway, I'll come back to that. Oshinubi honored by family, the clergy, media giants at 70th birthday Thanksgiving. Labour gives federal government 4 weeks to end varsity crisis. Let us know what your thoughts are on any of these stories. And ADC warns against political witch hunt in Coup probe.
Yeah, I think that's a big story. A political witch hunt, because we hear that some people are on the watch list.
But the government has not even come out to acknowledge or issue a statement with regards to this alleged coup.
No, the government, the
newspaper reports.
No. The defense headquarters came out to issue a report, and they said it wasn't a coup. They said they arrested 16 people because they failed promotion exams. That's the first time I'm hearing that somebody will fail exam and they arrest him for failing his own exam. You arrest him for what?
They were also from the career stagnation. Yes.
That there were some indiscipline or whatever. And they didn't tell us what that indiscipline is. So, you see, the answer to this question is blowing in the wind. Because you can't tell me that I will fail my own exam. You will arrest me for failing my exam. I think there's something they are not telling us. There's devil in the details of what they have said. Because it's an open thing. Somebody failed an exam. He used his money to pay for that exam. Why are you arresting him? So, they are not telling the truth. They are speaking from both corners of the mouth. So for them to now say that some people are on the watch list, they are contradicting themselves. That's why I say they are speaking from both corners of the mouth.
So why do you think they're why do you think they're being circumspect in coming with the full details? Is it that some people might still be under investigation and they don't want to let the cat out of the bag?
It's possible. And in diplomatic circles, you don't say it the way it is. You micromanage the truth. And I think that's what they're doing. that they are micromanaging the truth, because we'll all be here when some people will be court-martialed, and we will ask if you court-martial somebody for failing exams. We'll ask that question when the time comes.
There's a news item at the top of the newspaper there saying NLC gives Labour gives federal government 4 weeks to end varsity crisis. As someone who's in the academia and understands how the workings of the Nigerian education system, would this work, this threat or this ultimatum that the Nigerian Labour Congress has given to the federal government, is it possible to end all the crisis in Nigerian universities in 4 weeks?
It is not possible to do, and I think NLC has become a toothless bulldog, because this issue has been raging for a long time, and they have kept quiet about it. Even when the Minister of Education was being economical with the truth, that they didn't sign any document, maybe he forgot. And if you wanted to put it in perspective, because they have a way of saying they are quoted out of context. Now, if he had said this government did not sign any agreement with us, it would have been acceptable. But for him to say that government did not, when he knows that government is a continuum, I think that was the height of it all. There was an agreement signed in 2009. And since then, they've been dilly-dallying. Now, when some people don't know, in my place, they say, if you're not there when somebody is buried, if you're asked to resume, you start from the leg. That's what some people are doing. Because actually, that was an agreement signed. And since then, they've been dilly-dallying. The meeting will be called in 2019, 2021, and 2023 or thereabouts. And agreements were reached. ASU will sign, government will say we will sign, and they did not sign. And that's what he's relying on. And that's why ASU is saying now, we are going to ensure that those agreements are not just signed, they are going to be implemented. Because tomorrow, another minister will come and say, we didn't assign any agreement. So this time around, that's why ASU is doing what they are doing. So people should understand from the standpoint that ASU is coming from. They are not saying that we must go on strike. No, they have their own children too in some of these universities. Because some of the lecturers cannot afford private universities. So they still have their children attending some of them. They are not politicians that can send their children abroad.
Very tough one. Let's look at another paper. I mean, the arraignment of Obi of Lagos, others stalled. I don't know if you want to talk on that. But there's a sad story here. National Assembly mourns army commander, soldiers killed by Borno terrorists. It seems like terrorism is raging head on. People
are being murdered every day. The other day, it was equally learned that some of them were ambushed, and some soldiers, I think some policemen or so, were equally killed.
But are these isolated incidents? Because Mr. President said we've turned the corner in dealing with terrorism and insecurity in Nigeria. So
they can always come to press and say whatever they like. But we know what is going on. We know what is going on. The ID camps are still there, and they are swelling every day. So what have you know, the last administration, we are just speaking grammar. We have decimated, we have conquered, we are using kinetic and not kinetic. All what they were just doing was speaking one grammar or the other. Today, it has come again. I think, because it was on this set, I recall that day that they just finished talking and I came in on this set, that the army chief was saying that they don't have ammunition, that these guys have stronger weapons than them. And the same day, the governor of Borno cried out that government should have. So what have they done from that time till now? That they will tell you that they have decimated this people, they have conquered, they have this, they have that. I mean, we should stop all this rhetorics and get down to work. You see, we are losing people every day. Now, these are human beings, not numbers. The way they are talking about it is just like figures. The other time, I think one of them said it was just 5 people. 5 human beings, and I said just.
That have families.
Oh, come on.
That families.
Come on. We need to be more serious than this. Honestly, we need to.
All right. Let's go to another paper very quickly. I think we have our last paper to look into, The Guardian. The Guardian is the last paper we're going to look into now. The front page of The Guardian, hashtag FreeNnamdiKanu. Seems that Nnamdi Kanu is making the headlines everywhere. Every front page.
Yeah, it's the biggest story.
Yeah, it's like the biggest story so far.
Pick one paper, you read all.
I don't know. I don't know if this would look palatable to the federal government, because this is taking over some of the major jobs or stories that the federal government has been doing, especially from yesterday and today. Well, chaos as police disperse Abuja protesters, Southeast shuts down for Kanu. There were videos showing how the market, the popular market in the East, how they were telling everybody was shutting down, ensuring that they are joined and so on. Let me ask you this question before I proceed, still on the Nnamdi Kanu. What do you make of the Southeast state governors who have kept mum on this issue? Because the praises have gone to Showore, and many have said this is the end of ethnicity and leaning towards tribalism, because Showore is not from the Southeast, but he has decided to take up that mantle.
I think some of the leaders, let's put it in perspective, some of the governors in the Southeast are fueling the crisis in the Southeast. I won't mind words about it.
Why do you say so?
Why I said so was that it was after the governor of Imo, the current governor of Imo,
Hope
Uzodimma, said what he said, that the military went to destroy the home of Nnamdi Kanu, killed about 20 people, and he ran away. That was, they now started saying that he jumped bail. Thank God Supreme Court came in and said he didn't jump bail. He ran away because they wanted to murder him in cool blood. That day, about 20 people were murdered in cool blood for nothing. And these were people that were carrying flags. Recall that IPOB had never carried gun until after that incident. It was after that incident that they formed the ECN to defend themselves.
Yes,
so, yes. I don't understand why they are doing that. See, let me tell you some of the things that people don't know. When they say Southeast leaders, some of the leaders have been trying. The late Wanyanwu died as a result of Nnamdi Kanu. I can tell you that
but the sitting governors being politically correct.
Yes, you know, that
maybe
was
they might want it, but they can't express themselves because of the retribution they might
get. They are aligning them. See, you know how Hope Uzodimma came in.
So they might not even want it.
In an election, he did not win that election. I can say that anywhere, any day, any time. He did not win that election. He came fourth in that election, and he was brought in because of compromises and agreements as also rock. He was now brought in to be the governor of that state. And I don't want to go into other details, you know. So at the end of the day, they are the people that are making this look as if the leaders in the Southeast are not wanting Nnamdi Kanu to come out.
So if you could propose a political solution to these problems, what will it be? Because billions of naira being lost every Monday with a sit-at-home order. Nobody wants to live in an environment of palpable fear. You have this has been dragging on for too long. What sort of solution?
Nnamdi Kanu, through his lawyer, had said that that sit-at-home should stop because it was not him that actually instituted that sit-at-home. It was Simon Nnah. So he said, even before Simon Nnah was arrested, there was a broadcast through his lawyers that that sit-at-home should stop because billions and millions and trillions of naira is being lost in the Southeast every day. And if the government understands that, they should have freed Nnamdi Kanu, because all they're asking for is free this guy. It's not as if the court have not said he has no case to answer. When a court says you are discharged and acquitted, that word has no two meanings in the dictionary. So I don't know how somebody that was discharged and acquitted by the court of first instance, and like I said, senior advocate, grounded senior advocate said for such matters, once the appellate court decrees or says such judgment, that the Supreme Court cannot even attempt the matter again. But what they did was rearrange him and brought other frivolous charges against him. Now they have concluded their matter. The case is in court according to them. Now they want the other party to come and give their, okay. These guys were going yesterday, one of the lawyers of Nnamdi Kanu and the brother, to go and submit their response in court. And they were arrested. And they said, look, we are going to court. They brought those documents, they collected it from them. So what do they want? You see, I don't understand the level of literacy of our policemen. Do you know an international journalist was picked up yesterday?
Yes.
The guy was shouting, I'm a journalist. I'm a journalist. If they cannot see the AFP on his camera, they should have at least in Senate clan asked for his ID. Oh, they didn't do that. They arrested him and took him to...
And his camera was damaged.
And his camera was damaged.
To clarify, I'm not certain that there was a complete discharge and acquittal of Nnamdi Kanu. I'll say that because what I do know, or is a discharge in terms of them stating that his extraordinary rendition was not legal, and that he shouldn't have been brought back that way. I don't think he was speaking to the merit of the case, the terrorism charges leveled against him, but that there was an extraordinary rendition. Meaning, they could...
The way he was abducted from Kenya to Nigeria, yes.
Okay.
Right.
Assuming without conceding that is the situation, why did they not release him?
Anyway.
But that one is left for... So, I mean, we talked about the attack on the press. News Central was also... We also had our team in Abuja attacked as well. The boss, the driver, the camera operator, and now the police is saying that they are investigating and they would swing into action and find those police officers who attacked the News Central.
I blame.
That's the.
I blame you guys. I blame you guys at times. When I mean you guys, I don't mean News Central. I mean the journalists. Now this is a matter that whatever damage must be paid for instantly. Maybe by the time you people start calling for some of these things, they will stop harassing the press. The press is there to do their job. Even in wars, international press are allowed
do you think the security officers and the police they are sensitized enough?
You mentioned something about the level of literacy of these people. Security operators. Is it time that we make the base level entry a minimum of OND or university degree?
University degree or AC. You don't just go and bring people ordinarily that were touts and they employ them as police officers. It has happened before. We know it. We know it. So why would you not bring somebody, a miscreant, and give that person a gun? What do you want to achieve?
Whether that will be investigated is another issue, No,
it will not be investigated if you will keep quiet, because that's the bane of this society. Because we will just keep quiet, and say it's one of those things. No, it's not one of those things.
Exactly.
It's not.
It leads to a culture of impunity.
Of course.
Okay. Olive?
Okay. So just to quickly give so I can speak to the Obi of Lagos, the arraignment of the Obi of Lagos, the details of the story. The Punch reports that the arraignment of the self-acclaimed Obi of Lagos, Chibuike Azubike, and 3 others before the State High Court sitting at the Tafawa Balewa Square over alleged unlawful assembly was on Monday stalled due to the absence of the 4th defendant. Obi Azubike, alongside Chief Martins Nwaudika, Chibuzo Ani, and Dr. Sunday Ude, was charged before Justice Abdulrahim Muhyiddin by the Lagos State government. They're facing 3 counts bordering on conspiracy, unlawful assembly, and creation of a chieftaincy title preferred against them by the Lagos State government. The defendants were accused of conspiring amongst themselves to commit the offenses, and the incident happened sometime between August 2025 and September 13, 2025 at the Ikotu area of the state. So they're accused of unlawfully creating a chieftaincy title, Obindi Igbo Lagos State, and Dike Ohandi Igbo Lagos State, without lawful authority.
Now, let me ask one question. Is it only the Igbos that have people that are organizing their community in their area? We have the Sariki of the north in my area. The guy that was a megad to the next compound to my house was the Sariki of these people, and he was installed. He does not in any way, have anything to do with the traditional stool of Lagos State. I mean, this issue of harassing the Igbos must stop. Look at what they did in Festac Town. What do you call it?
Trade fair.
Trade fair. And the commissioner was speaking in tongues. That place, that's not the first time, that's not the second time, this is about the third time that federal government has said, this is federal land. You don't have rights here. They didn't look at the properties they destroyed. They should get ready because they're going to pay for those properties they destroyed. Because they don't have, I listened to Victor in one of the papers. He's a chartered estate surveyor. He said he went there was no infraction, and all the things they are supposed to pay for, they paid to federal authority that owns the place. So why this harassment?
If in Anambra State, and I'm totally against the harassment of even Igbo, I'm against any form of harassment anywhere. But if in Anambra State, for example, or in Enugu State, we saw them install an Oba of Awon Yoruba in Anambra State or in Enugu State, will that...
They do that. They do that. Ask questions. They do that. No, these things were done before now. It's just that, now they want to go out against the Igbos. It's been there all along. Let me give you one instance. I was the DG of Ladipo Johnson in 2019. I was DG in the governorship election. He was given a chieftaincy title by an Igbo man in Ikoto. So those titles have been there. It's just because Lagos State government now want to go against the Igbos. So they're using every frivolous attempt to keep that Igbos. It's very, very wrong.
You think
it's been there.
Do you think it's political?
The case that you the case you mentioned, it was the Igbo people that were conferring the title on the Yoruba man. It wasn't the Yoruba persons now deciding to give themselves an Igbo chieftaincy title. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
No. What I'm saying is that guy is a chief is a traditional ruler in Lagos. In Lagos, it's not conferred. That honor was not conferred to him by Lagos State government. It was conferred to him by the Igbos in the community.
And it's a Yoruba man that they conferred the title on.
Yeah, he conferred title to so many people, including a Yoruba man. I just mentioned that one because that was the person. In fact, that day he wanted to confer me a traditional title. I said, no, that's a demotion for me. I'm a prince of God, so I can't take a chieftaincy title from a lower.
I don't know if you see what I'm saying, in the sense that it was the Igbo people that were given that title, and then they gave this person. It's a different case where these people come together.
See, I said this man was installed as a traditional ruler.
The government will argue that they have a Ministry of Chieftaincy Affairs, and by law, it's only the government that is allowed to give instrument of office, staff of office, and recognize chieftaincy titles. Anything outside the ambit of the law is legal.
30 seconds.
Well, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't want to go to the nitty-gritty of that law. But what I'm trying to say is that it has been there. They have been doing it. It didn't just start this year. They have been doing it. And Lagos State have not been frowning at it because they have not been infringing on any known law of the land. That's why they have been allowing it.
Of 2023 elections.
Yes, that is it.
We won't come back to touch on this matter. Unfortunately, we've run out of time. Thank you very much for joining us, sir.
Thank you so much.